What? Is there something on my face? Do you want to get dunked on? Hi guys, welcome back. Scatlink here, and we are off for another update video, mostly focusing on a couple of things about the Nintendo Direct. Yes, we have the reveal of a full HD remake of Xenoblade Chronicles, which makes it look completely different and less muddy than the original, which always put me off on both the Wii and 3DS versions. But other than that, we had a bit of Luigi's Mansion, we had a bit of Kirby, had a bit of Zelda Link's Awakening, nothing Zelda 2, or Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 for that matter. Still would like a Zelda 2 remake. But however, we did get something that's actually really important, and that's kind of like to me and my mates, as well as like anyone of the fandom, I don't know if you could tell because I'm wearing the hoodie, is that Sans from Undertale is technically in Smash. I mean, not exactly, he's a costume, but if you wear the entire costume, it's made so it is pretty much a model replacement. It's the first 3D model of an Undertale character that's official, and it's not even made by Toby Fox, or maybe with a bit of leeway with Toby Fox. It was mostly made by Nintendo because it is Nintendo DLC. And not only that, throughout all the other DLC costumes from the latest pack that was set that were released, not pack, they're separate, it's the only one, still priced at 70p mind you, that comes with a music track, and of course it is a Smashified remix of Megalovania. Need I say more? If you're an Undertale fan of any regard, that's something that you want to get. I mean, it shook me to the bone. I mean, to be honest, I didn't actually watch the Smash part of the thing. I just watched the Direct because the Direct didn't actually grip me that much. That's why I have little to say about the rest of it. And of course, the one bit that I don't watch and I'm interested in it, I only found out from my mates who, funnily enough, the Space Kitsune, who voiced Sans in our Let's Play of Undertale, he's the one who let me know. It was insane, and of course I've seen it afterwards. I've actually got the DLC now. Yes, I pretty much bought almost all, except for one of those costumes that were released. I don't know about this Gomon. As soon as I heard the name, I assumed, what, Digimon? Because obviously I didn't watch the thing, because it was late at night. I mean, that's the thing. This is the Direct of the 4th of September, or the 5th of September of 2019. So it was like 11 o'clock at night for us UKians. For us in the UK. So it was quite late at night, and I was tired at that point, so I wanted to watch it, then go to bed, but I ended up staying an hour and a half anyway, because Sans. And yes, this technically means that we do have a somewhat playable indie rep for Smash. We do not have like an actual playable character from an indie game. This is the closest we have gotten. Smash already has by default Shovel Knight as a indie rep, but it's not playable. And also we have Shantae from Half Genie Hero from the Shantae series, for that game specifically, as a spirit that you can collect and fight and power up and whatnot, but at the same time it's not a playable character. Sans is the closest that we've got, and the thing is, everyone's pretty much like wanting indie reps to be playable at this point, and now we've got the confirmation that 5 additional DLC fighters are coming anyway, so it shook me to the bone, I'll tell you what. So with many more characters actually available after the initial 5 come out, that means that this game's roster is going to be even bigger than it is, and it's already ridiculously big. At this point, Smash Ultimate's going to become, what's that online fan-made massive tournament fight with like over 200 characters? I think it's called Smogan, but I might be pronouncing that wrong. That does sound right to me, but it's pretty much becoming like an official version of that at this point. But that just makes me wonder, does this mean that we're actually going to get a playable Sans at some point? Or maybe another character from Undertale that will actually be playable? Think about it. The reason why I thought about this is because there were actually some hints when the costume was revealed. Not only is it the only one that's also coming with a soundtrack, which by the way, Toby Fox is also doing the music for Game Freak's other game that they're not prioritising Sword and Shield over, Little Town Hero. He's done the music for that. Toby Fox has been working with Game Freak. And now he's working with Nintendo. What the hell? I mean, this guy's just been going up the Ziggurat split, and it's just amazing. And now we actually have like a graphic where Smash Ultimate times Undertale is an official logo. It's an official render. It's not something that's just been edited, which is easy to do. And yeah, it's what a world we live in at this point. But at the same time, you know, politics just going all down the drain, whatnot, with the Amazon and Brexit. Us in the UK are still with the EU. get on with it. But anyway, I don't know, I'm going on a tangent at this point. What I want to get to is that when the Sans was revealed, there were like little references. I mean, apparently there was, from what I was told, there was a reference for Betty Noir from Glitchtale, which is a fan-made thing. And I'm guessing, you know, Toby obviously likes that at some point, because otherwise why would that be put in the thing? But there was also one piece of food! One piece of food that is randomly generated, by the way, every time that, you know, food spawns in. And what is that one piece of food? Nothing but spaghetti. Papyrus's best and favourite food to cook and eat, and it's the trailer for the Sans costume. So, what does that mean? Is that, like, foreshadowing, or is that just happened to be there on circumstance? I mean, there was a piranha plant there, because I think that was a reference to Flowey, so it was, like, all Undertale, like, themed in terms of what you have, because, I mean, if you're fighting a spirit, they would match what it is. So if there was like a Flowey spirit, for example, later on in the future, if they decide to add an Undertale character and then spirits to go with it, which they have done so far with Banjo-Kazooie, Hero, like Erdrick from the first and third games, and then you got, like, obviously with Persona 5, you got, like, pretty much all the characters from Persona, like Fudabar and all that. So if you were gonna fight Flowey, it would make sense if it was the piranha plant, and that was a free download character. So the reason why I'm pointing out that spaghetti thing is because, I mean, think about back to Smash Wii U, when we had the Smash ballot, where we could actually vote as a community on what characters that we want. Now, at this point, it's just like talking around Twitter. Developers see that, or maybe they think they want to put their character in, they can go straight to Nintendo and say, hey, let's work together and put our character in there. I mean, Banjo-Kazooie, I mean, they did have a history with Nintendo, but Rareware is now known as Rare, is like is like pretty much a first-party developer for Xbox now, Microsoft. And the thing is, they're not like competitive anymore. Everyone's working together in the industry now. It's actually a refreshing thing, considering what it used to be before. There's no war anymore. It's a weird way we live in, but that just means that things are possible. And going back to Wii U with the ballot, we had other characters that we could vote for, but during that time we also had new DLC for additional costumes like we have now. And some of those costumes were Inkling and King K. Rool, two more notable examples. And would you know, in the very next game, because they didn't actually get added as DLC characters in Smash Wii U or 3DS, but in the very next game, they became playable characters. King K. Rool returned alongside Ridley, funnily enough, and obviously, you know, the Inklings got their own spot as well, designs from both Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2, male and female, so you can't really go wrong with that at all. And even now, with, like, for example, Sonic, we have two Mii Fighter costumes based off of Tails and Knuckles, subsidiaries that go with the actual playable character repping that series, I guess. I mean, you don't have a playable Toad, but you also have a Toad costume, so think about this for a moment. If we have characters for, like, from Persona 5 that you have as costumes, alongside a playable character from that very series, like the Joker, Persona 5 costumes, as well as the character, now we have Sans. Where's the playable character? That's what I'm thinking. It could either be that Sans will eventually be a playable character in the future, but knowing Toby Fox, that's not going to be the case. It's going to be a swerve. Think about Sans' character for a minute. He's lazy. He doesn't want to fight. He is a force to be reckoned with, but he only has 1 HP. How's that going to work in Smash? Seriously, okay, you might have a stamina match and you could say, oh yeah, he has 300 HP because it's the game, the game's giving him the power. Or, it's a stamina-based match. It's just like, you just take the percentage until you get knocked off, Sans not really taking damage or something like that. But I don't think that's the case. I want to bring up that fighting game that was brought up about One Punch Man. I don't actually know anything about One Punch Man other than the main character can kill anything in one punch. That's the gimmick, that's the name, that's the thing. But of course they want to make a fighting game out of it, and I think I've seen a few clips of this somewhere. I'll have to get it for this video, but the way that they actually made it work is so that in order to play the main character, if you put him on your team, he's not actually playable until a certain amount of time passes to even out the fact that he can one-shot anything with a single punch. So you play as the rest of your team, and if you're struggling, that's your problem because you're not good enough or you're just getting, gypped. But you still have the winning card, the winning character who can kill anything in one hit. For balancing reasons, he's not actually playable. He's making his way toward the battlefield. He's making his way toward the match, and you've got to pretty much stall the time until he's available. And then when he's available, you can swap to him. All you got to do is get in that one punch, and that character's knocked out. That is balancing right there. How are you supposed to play as a character that's going to sweep the entire competition? The game will probably just be a bore then. But they made it work, and that if there was going to be with Sans, I don't see how that could work considering the nature of Smash. You have to build damage, unless they actually make something like a Papyrus and Sans duo, like Banjo-Kazooie, only that the fact is that you play as mostly as Papyrus, and then as a final Smash, you go to Sans, where you have way more powerful attacks, but if you get hit even once, that's just an immediate stock done. You just poof out of existence. Kind of like touching the lava in the Great Cave Offensive or something like that. It just, boom, you're gone. But did you catch what I just said there? You're playing as Papyrus. Papyrus, if you know the character as well, compared to Sans being, lazy and not motivated and all that, not ready for the responsibility, that's an actual quote. Papyrus is energetic, outgoing, wants to prove himself, and he will do it for his brother. I mean, Sans would do it for his brother as well, but you get what I mean. He's not really much of a fighter, because as soon as, spoiler warning for Undertale if you haven't played it yet, if you choose to make Papyrus bite the dust, that's where Megalovania plays, and you're facing down with Sans. That's the gimmick. That's why he's here. That's why I left a little bit of a pause there and not a bit of a time skip, because it's kind of relevant to why Megalovania's here. I mean, even to listen to Megalovania, you got to get to that point, and you got to kill Papyrus. But again, that's your choice, and I don't do that. So if you really want to get your bones truceled, have Papyrus playable. Remember, as I said, that people want Sans in the game. This is pretty much your chuck-away version of that, and it's, like I said, only 70p. What can go wrong? But if later on we actually do get Papyrus as a playable character, that is a swerve that you would expect from Toby Fox, because you want Sans, and everybody knows that we want Sans, and now that we technically do have Sans, why not have both of the Bones brothers? Why not get some truceling in there and have some special attacks going off? I mean, that's a gimmick of the game, innit? This is Papyrus with his special attack. And I can actually see how the intro could go down for it. I know that Sakurai has not actually been working on, animations for character introductions recently, even though from what we're seeing is all in-engine, it's done really well with awesome camera work. So Sakurai still has some sort of good attention to detail on how he wants to present the characters. It's just more easily done on the cheap, and it fools us, and even when he reveals it, we still like what he does. And the dude can play full controllers with his hands. How do you do that? So going back to animations, here's how I think it could go down. A postman comes to deliver that invitation letter, but we don't see the stamp, to Sans' mailbox that is chock full, because he never checks it because he's lazy. Meanwhile, Papyrus's is empty. However, the postman is so used to actually putting letters into Sans' mailbox, tries to stuff it in there instead of using the vacant one. Of course, it's so full, when he tries to put it in, it explodes. Then he he gets the attention of Sans. Sans just, pops out of nowhere behind him, is like, "Hey man, what's up?" Just being the jokey self that he is. Of course, the postman's having none of it, and he says, "Sort out that mail right now. I don't get paid enough to deal with this." So of course, Sans has to sift through them all, so he just bunches them all up with his magic, puts them into his house, and he has to start sorting them out. Papyrus is still out doing his sentry duty at the moment. So Sans, now that just put all those letters, including the invitation, in the ball, he sifts through them, and he actually comes across the invitation, which was the letter delivered today. Then, he looks at it, reads it, and it says, "Congratulations, Mr. Skeleton," because he's known as Sans the Skeleton, so it'll be "Congratulations, the Skeleton," because, that's how it works with names. And it says that you're invited to Smash. But, you know what he does? Folds it back up, or crumples it into a ball, and he's like, "Sorry man, not ready for the responsibility." Chucks it behind him, Papyrus comes through the front door, gets hit in the face by the paper, and he's like, "What's this? Why are you chucking paper, brother? It could be a bill you need to pay," or something stupid like that. Checks it, and he'll think it's addressed to him, because it says the Skeleton and their brothers, and he's like, "Sans, is this an invitation for me or for you?" And he's like, "Well, I'm not going to do it, buddy." It's like, "Then I'll take the mantle," and then it's like Papyrus is ready to trussel some bones, or something like that. Like the little flashcard, and then obviously it shows us how he plays and stuff like that. That'll probably be a good segue, and you could get away with using models, because you can just have Sans' Mii costume as the character rig for Sans, and Papyrus obviously being the character model that is going to be playable, have that rigged, and you could actually have like an official 3D animation from like Toby Fox and Nintendo that's Undertale based, and it would also be like the best thing ever. That extra little effort for an indie rep in Smash, also the first indie rep in Smash, and it's Undertale. Do it! I mean, they could easily do the animation with sprites like they usually do in the game style, but how are you going to transition to sprites and then just go 3D model with Papyrus? I mean, you could also go with like maybe the human, which is basically Frisk, but all the other alternates, so the other 7 humans, so yeah, Frisk, Kara, and then the other 6 humans, based off the souls. That could be just fan designs from Toby or something, or from other fan designs that fans themselves have made because of Undertale Yellow being a thing, because that's actually a fan-made game based off of what happened to one of the humans, and this is basically the one which is the cowboy kid, who has the cowboy hat and the gun, because all the other weapons you use throughout Undertale are from the other previous humans who fell down in the underground and lost their soul because the monsters needed them. They didn't want to kill them, they just had to get out. And because of this, you know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to have a few themed replays featuring Sans or maybe some other characters. I mean, funnily enough, we're in September right now. In just over a week, it will be Undertale's 4th anniversary, and that's still going to be celebrated on the channel, mainly because, you know, the Let's Play of Undertale was such a monumentous collaboration thing. It's a big thing for pretty much all of us as well, and, you know, it just keeps going on every so often. I mean, the first year, obviously, the game came out. Second year, physical editions as well as console versions were announced. Then the next year after that, Switch, and then Deltarune, as well as now Sans in Smash. The ball just keeps on rolling. So there's always something to look forward to when you're an Undertale fan. It's insane, and we don't know when the Deltarune will come out. Of course, if like there's a dry year or something, I might skip the anniversaries at this point. I did actually have a replay already made quite a while back, ready for the anniversary, since I'm actually going to be busy on that day, so I could just chuck that up there. But I guess we'll just have like maybe 2 or 3 replays instead of the 1. It's actually going to be female Kara versus Buddy from the Lisa series of indie games, which are kind of grotesque in a post-apocalyptic thing, but she's basically the last female. And there was actually a fan crossover animation thing going on, where it was like Buddy somehow fighting male Kara, because they saw Kara as a male. Actually, Kara's a female, so that's what my replay is, but it's take place in the Judgement Hall, which it does in the thing, so it's basically like a Smash version of the animation, and I was going to do that for the 15th of September, that replay. I've got it uploaded and everything, so I'll just make it public on the day. But I guess we're going to have another one, probably Sans versus a possessed Frisk, because that makes the most sense. It's basically the game. I might even do a few with the Deltarune characters as well. I do actually have a Rousey that I downloaded, and the Judgement Hall was one that I downloaded as well. I did have an old one that was used in the Kara vs Buddy video, but I've now got a new one because, you know, Megalovania wasn't in the game yet, so it wasn't part of the stage, it was the Gourmet race instead. Of course, I muted that so I could put in the Megalode Strike Back music that was from Toby Fox's Earthbound hack, which, funnily enough, is just called that. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all I have to talk about. So I'll see you guys for the Undertale anniversary coming up soon, which is a nice segue to mention that. Of course, we've still got some Undertale Death Wishes, they really rattle me to the bone. And yeah, we'll have any other challenge roads that come out. Couple more mods maybe, showing those off, and I'm actually working on something that will be exclusive to Patreon until it's complete. So it's actually a Let's Play that people have been requesting for a good long while, and I keep saying that I'll eventually get to it, but I don't, and instead I've covered the prequel about 5 goddamn times on the channel, so that's your clue. I'm not going to name names, but I think you can figure it out just by checking my playlists. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video here. I hope you guys check out the DLC and all that, check out anything else I've done on the channel, and maybe even the Let's Play of Undertale, or my first impressions of Deltarune, because it originally started as an update video and it just became the whole playthrough. So with that, I'll see you guys next time for whatever we do on the channel. I'll see you guys then.